Pretty good. So I guess, kind of approaching the season, looking back at the recruiting class now, they've kind of seamlessly transitioned, I guess, how good do you feel like the fit has been early on? Because the earlier turns on a lot of these younger guys has been really, really impressive, including the transfer.
For sure.
The transfers with Gronowski and Heklinski and Brown really seems like they're starting to settle in a little bit.
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, the young guys are doing well. I can't say with definitive fact that any of them are going to play right away. We have an older class. We have 28 seniors, 24 scholarship guys, 4 walk-ons, so we're a pretty veteran team. The 10 transfers we brought in between January and summer have been awesome. They're all going to have a role at some point on the team. Some probably a little bit different than others, but so far there's no misses, which you hope for, and as just talking to the Quad Cities there, you bring guys in the summer and those last guys, the transfers and high school kids, you can see them move around in the summer and man, did we miss on that kid? There are no definitive misses, so that's a good start. But it's just nice to have all 109 guys here working out, pads are popping. 2 nights ago we had night practice, the energy was high, guys were flying around. It's fun to be back to football. This is the best time of year, not that I don't enjoy recruiting, but high school kids are focused on their season. It's a dead period, so we just get to be around our guys and be at practice, and that's the best part.
You actually get to sleep for more than 4 hours too.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. It's still long days, but it's still fun though. It's the best time. It's just football. It's just pure football, which is awesome.
When it comes to the transfer portal and NIL and bring guys in, I know I ask you about this quite frequently, but I'm just so intrigued about, because I know how thoroughly you guys do homework on guys.
Yeah, for sure.
And it is like speed dating.
Yeah.
Is there ever a timeout where, say, you take a chance on a kid, quote unquote, but you're really kind of paying close attention and maybe there's a misstep early and you're thinking, are you nervous about missing on a kid or seeing if it was the wrong fit or not?
Yeah, I mean, that's just the whole part of it is just trying to make sure, one, we like recruiting guys from the FCS or Group of 5. Like, we like guys coming up because they've got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, they have something to prove. We love recruiting guys we've had familiarity with in high school. Jonah Pates, Bryce Hawthorne, 2 kids, Mark Gronowski, 3 kids that we recruited out of high school and didn't take. Unfortunately, probably missed all 3 of those kids out of high school. But just kind of trusting your evaluation, and then we're big too. If we know where the kid's coming from, we'll call as many people on that staff as possible to gather background. It's amazing how we've had plenty of guys leave Iowa and we don't hear from the school they transferred to. Like, nobody from that school called us, which to us is wild. Like, we're not gonna kill kids, but I'd want to know, like, what did you think? What was his day-to-day demeanor like? How do you work? And so we're still gonna operate that same way. Yeah, we're still gonna operate that same way. And we're gonna start doing a little pre-portal scouting, guys, this year. We'll start a little bit earlier than we have. You hear rumblings. There's a lot of tips on who's going into the portal, so we'll start probably a little bit earlier than we will. But the best part is we go through fall. We're going to see what our team really is. We'll find out where our needs really are. We've got 14 high school kids committed. We've got some spots we're going to fill, and it's more of, do we want to go high school route or the portal route? So that'll all clear itself up in the next 3-4 weeks, and then certainly throughout the season as well.
I know relationships are really important in recruiting. It's probably one of the most important things that you guys really focus on, I guess. If a kid decides to end up going elsewhere, I guess, how much have you had to learn to prioritize keeping that relationship alive in case they end up transferring back?
It's everything. It's everything in this day and age. I mean, and Coach Ferentz is great about that. If we're really high on a kid, we've offered him to come on a visit. He's the first one to drop him a note, hey, congrats, best of luck here at the school. And you got to keep relationships, because with the portal, it can circle around a year or 4. I mean, you never know. You never know.
Are you still looking for a quarterback in 26 class?
We are. Yep, okay. We are. And we've got some names we feel good about. At this point, when we lost our quarterback commit in 26, there's no reason to rush and go take another guy. We've got times on our side, so we can see what the first 4 to 5 weeks of their senior season looks like. Other guys can see what our offense looks like for 4 to 5 weeks too. So they're still going to be dominoes in that quarterback recruiting world. We'll kind of see what brings up. But we have a few names we're pretty honed in on, and we'll see how they perform. And we'll see. There's always senior risers too, even as quarterbacks.
You have 2 legacy guys as true freshmen. You have another, I know you can't comment on, that's a senior. But I'm curious as to, do you approach recruiting legacy guys different than someone else? Because it's a delicate dynamic, I feel like. How do you approach that?
It's unique. One, Coach Ferentz is going on near 27, right? And he was here for 9 years in the 80s too. So we have more legacies, if you will, for our current head coach than anywhere else in the country. So we'll always recruit those guys, and we'll always take a hard look. And typically we know those kids from the time they were 9, 10, 11 years old. So we're tracking them probably a little bit earlier than most places. We have a bunch of alumni events back here. These kids come on campus. Recruiting coaches' sons is actually harder. I would say people on our staff, that's actually really hard to recruit sons of coaches that are on staff. That I told Coach I don't want to ever do it again. After this year, let's call it up. But we've got another one coming up here, so we'll have to encounter that in a year or so. But in all seriousness, you love recruiting legacies because you know everything about their family. They're here all the time, and it's with Yosei, right? And the amazing thing about Yosei is when we recruited him, you never think about it, but he had been to campus 100 times. He had never had his own true recruiting visit. He had been on AJ's. He was here with Eric. You know, they're here all the time. So when you come to it, it's like, right, he knows everything about Iowa football and all this, but he hasn't gone through the individual meetings, the campus stuff, the academic stuff. And you always assume he had, and he kind of had as like a junior high kid when we were recruiting AJ. But so it's like we're always going to prioritize legacies, without a doubt, without a doubt.
I wanted to ask you about your summer.
Yes.
How